Alright, what's going on, guys? My name is Exotic Alpha and today we're back with another league race to commentate on. We are in the Formula Racing League today. We are here for the last round of the season. It is in Season 3 in Baku in Azerbaijan. Important things to know are that Wild Dog has been crowned the champion of Tier 3. So congratulations on that, Wild Dog. You deserve that. You put in a lot of effort and you got it in the end, so congratulations for that. He'll be moved up to Tier 2 for next season, and that's certainly gonna be very interesting, of course, because he's the champion of Tier 3. It's a full qualifying we gathered today, followed by a 50% race. This is like usual in Formula Racing League. I wonder if it's gonna rain actually around this track, because it's really tough. Wet weather is Baku, and let's see what the Grand Prix brings us. Yeah. Also, the battle for second place is still on between King of the Hills and Nivi, who are both in for tonight's Grand Prix I've seen. So we'll take P3 and P2. That's a question. Difference is only 7 points coming into the last round here in Baku. So that's gonna be a very interesting one to watch out for. But yeah, Wild Dog has taken the crown, so yeah, nothing to do about that. But he's still in for tonight's Grand Prix, which we appreciate, of course. Let's see if Wild Dog can prove he is the true champion here in Tier 3 and grab the W here today in Azerbaijan. As we're waiting for drivers to ready up. Also, I'm willing to excuse myself because I have a bit of a fever at the moment. So yeah, don't sound like usual. Are we running up? That's the question now. I think we are in a couple of seconds or something. As you see, the party leader running up, so everyone is probably running up in a few seconds. So that's really good news. That means we're good to go here. Is everyone running up? Doesn't seem like it. Oh, Wild Dog just gave me the chat on Discord and he said that next week is one more round in Portimao. So I didn't know about that, but alright, thanks for mentioning that. So we have one more round next week, which will take place at the new track of Portimao. And that is a very nice track, and that's the first time I'm going to commentate on that particular track, so I'm really looking forward to it already. As we have 17 drivers info tonight, so there's going to be a full qualifying session, which is also very nice to see. Scenes you love to see, actually. As we're now going into qualifying session number 1 here in Baku, and I wonder if it's gonna rain or is it just going to be dry. That's the question. Let's see, we get the answer in a couple seconds, but everyone is just readied up. It will be at the least in 25 seconds for now. We're underway in less than 15 seconds here for the first qualifying session. And then we'll see the guys, everyone's pace, and yeah, we'll come on the top. We'll start obviously in the pole position. So, that's going to be an interesting one for sure. Let's take a watch actually for the battle between second and third place King of the Hills and Nivi. That's going to be the main focus of tonight. Fragile Tunnel with a 4th place is not in for tonight's race. He's practicing to drive actually without any assists, so that's very tough there. As we see already, Haas coming on the track. Is that man? Yeah, it's man. Man was already out on track. Let's put the telemetry up with the lap data and the full track map. Is everyone going for me now? This is the golf session number 1. Everyone will go out on softs, no doubt about that. But we'll see about Man here. Where is he actually at in the championship standings? That is the question. Also really nice to see. He's 10th in the championship standings for the moment with 64 points. In the Haas is Man. He's still the first one was out on track. It's still nobody yet out on track. Yeah, Poch is now coming on the track. Poch was currently 13 in the standings with 34 points. As Man is coming up to the castle section here. Feel nervous also on an outlap right now in the Red Bull. As we see more guys coming out right now. But the first one we're going to watch is obviously Man, because he's the first one who will set a hot lap here in qualifying session number 1. So yeah, let's stay with him for his first hot lap of the Grand Prix here. We have 2 DRS sections on this particular track. The first one we're at right now, it is the main straight to the finish line. The second DRS zone is obviously nice to know. It's after turn 2, it's not this corner we're going in right now, it's turn 1. We're going right now to turn 2, and when we exit that there will be another DRS zone to activate DRS on. It's right here. DRS open on the Haas here, and let's see what a lap he can produce here in Baku. I'm expecting actually quite a lot of damage today and crashes, because it is Baku, is a street circuit. If you make an error, you just get punished for it. There's no doubt about that actually. But can Man post a reliable time right now? Yeah, that's the question. Going to the castle section right now, the most toughest part of the track, as Man proves there. Almost lost control of it, but didn't take any risk and just backed off of it a bit. Do not have any damage and go again next time, I think. He's now coming towards the last actual corner of the track, and from there on it's just full on the throttle and just pace. Just full on the throttle here, as you guys can see. 2 more corners, which will take full on the throttle. What's this time going to be like from Man? Man in the Haas is coming towards the finish line right now, and it is going to be a 1:43.2, and it puts in fastest obviously for the time being. We have Slow Coach on the hot lap, we have Poch on the hot lap. I think it is will be the first one across the finish line. I think it might be Poch, you know. Yeah, I think Poch is the first one that will cross the finish line with another hot lap. In the Alpine here, in the French team, which was Renault before. Let's see, I think Poch is going to be improving on Man's time by a couple of seconds. There he is. For Poch, that's a quite decent lap, 1:41.5. That's a pretty decent lap for him there. We have Slow Coach, but we have also Villeneuve coming towards the finish line. He's close to the finish line then. But he's backed out of his run, I think. He's coming back into the pits, So let's go back with Slow Coach then, because he is on a hot lap now. And what's happened there? Someone just let pause or something. Nothing to worry about. Slow Coach. And the Williams now going towards the finish line. He's putting in a 1:46.0, puts him in 3rd place. FRL Darren Mark is now going towards the finish line, but he is backed off of his run. As if Wilder going towards the finish line, the champion in tier 3 with a 1:41.0, is half a second quicker than Poch. and I think he can go in the pit lane and just watch it from a distance, take not any risks here. Drew is on a hot lap. Drew has also won a race this season, I believe. He's also currently 5th in the standings, so let's see what he can do here on his lap. Nivi's on the track as well in the battle for 2nd and 3rd place in the championship. King of the Hills is on a hot lap as well. He's just started his hot lap. Drew is going towards the finish line, and he's one of the contenders to beat Wild Dog here today in Baku, so what's he going to produce here? This will be very close to Wild Dog's time, I think. It was 40.6, it's 4/10 quicker than Wild Dog, so very decent from him there. We've Toxic Threats is not coming, Nivi is not close. Let's go on board with King of the Hills, I think. Or is it or no? Let's go. No, he's just started a hot lap. Slowco just 6 tenths up in his time, and he's now coming towards the finish line. So let's ride about with Slowco to see what he can do. He is improving on his time, but by how much is he improving on his time? That's the question. Drew and Wild Dog's time now gone. Man's time is gone. Slowco is going to 45.3, which is an improvement, but it's just not enough. Now going to King of the Hills, I think. Let's go on board with King of the Hills here in the Aston Martin. In the championship battle for 2nd and 3rd place. King of the Hills, what can he do here today? In the Aston Martin. What will his time be like? It's not that great, I think. It's 143.6, which is also first time. And Nivi's going towards finish line. What is Nivi going to produce here? It is a 41.3, which puts him in 3rd place, and that's advantage Nivi for the time being. Ooh, as we see Oren crashing a bit there. A bit going to bury this Alfa Romeo. Mage is also on a hot lap in the other Aston Martin car. I think Toxic started another lap, but he's going to 3rd place. Toxic, I didn't see that, but Toxic Threads is going to 3rd place, 141.1. This puts him 3rd for the time being. Oren is going towards finish line, and Oren is going to produce a 145.6, puts him in 9th for the time being. We have 2 Mercs on the out lap right now. Who is that? It's a slow coach again. Yeah, he's 8 seconds down, so he's going to pit at the end of this lap. It's Nivi on another hot lap, or maybe King of the Hills actually. King of the Hills is 3/10 up in his own time, so can he put man off for 6th place there? I think he can. He's half a second up for the time now. Half a second up is King of the Hills, so can he close in to Nivi, because the gap is quite big. It's 2.3 seconds, but it's only qualifying session number 1, so King of the Hills going towards the finish line is a 143.1, puts him in 6th place for the time being. More guys going towards the finish line now. Toxic Threats doesn't improve. Nivi improved to the 140.9, and that is above Wild Dog. He's faster than Wild Dog for the time being. That is Villeneuve going towards finish line, isn't it? No, that's not Villeneuve. It's the other one was in the outlap was AFL. But this Oren once again. Oren is improving by 1.5 seconds here, the Alfa Romeo. And Scouse Cookie has decided to call it a day, or no, did crash out. Scouse Cookie did crash out in qualifying session number 1, and that is a very rough section to do it also. So, and Oren just put it 144.1, was in 8th place, but that's very rough from there. Yeah, definitely. He crashed out at this point. I think he just went wide there and smashed the barrier or something like that. That's the most common crash around Baku here, or the castle section as well. Let's see what his teammate can do then. Scouse Cook is already out of qualifying here, so we need one more to get eliminated here in the first qualifying session. We have Scott now going towards the finish line. Is it going to be a reliable time? Will qualify himself for Q2 with that? I think he will. 142.7. Puts him in 6th place for the time being. Page Bucket is on sector 1. Villeneuve's going towards the finish line on 42.2, 6th place for him there. We have Darren Mark who's going towards the finish line, but he's not going towards the finish line. It's the other of Niffy, but he's backed out of his run. So that's right aboard. AFL is putting his first time of the session here. 141.1, which puts him in 5th place for the time being, and he's qualified himself for that for qualifying session number 2. No doubt about that. We have Alfa Romeo going towards the finish line, but he's not improving. His 1.5 second down his Oren, so he just can't go into the pit lane, I guess. Just put another set of softs on. Let's try to work with Page Baguette. Page Baguette coming towards the finish line here, and what's going to be is going to be 142.6, puts her in 8th place for the time being. I think she's qualifying herself for that for qualifying session number 2. Did someone crash? Is it Darren Mark? Was it Nivi? It's Darren Mark. Oh, and the front wing is off. And hopefully he isn't out of this qualifying session. He isn't. He's just waiting for other guys to get past. But ooh, Darren Mark there, yeah. His nose is just gone, so he needs to put on a new nose. Did he just crash out? Well, I wasn't watching. I think he did, you know. But just decided to call it a day. I know Darren Mark's also out of qualifying here. Qualifying number 2. So if Mage can just put a time in, he just will go through. This is faster than 147.4. Aval's going towards the finish line, isn't he? Yeah, he's going to the pit lane, alright. Fair enough. Paige is more than a 10 over her time. She is now coming here towards the last couple of corners on the track. 5 tenths up. She's 5 tenths up, so that will put Villeneuve down to 8 and she will go up to 7 if she can keep the momentum going. Nivi decided to call the day. He's qualified himself, so fair play to that. Pedro gets going towards the finish line here. Oh no, she's pitting. She was a half a second up, but she's decided to pit and not take any risks. Nobody's in a hot lap except for Slow Coach and things, so let's run about Slow Coach in the Williams here. Porsche has retired from the session. Slow Coach is going towards the finish line, but I think it still won't be an improvement on his own time, and it won't be. It's a 148.6 for him. Who is going to be the first one? Let's run a boat with Rizzle Stakes. Actually, he hasn't put in a time yet, but can he just qualify himself for qualifying session number 2? Just get a lap in that's under 147.4 and you'll qualify yourself for qualifying session number 2. Well, Rizzle Stakes. Riddle Stakes now come towards the first corner of the track. That's right, I'm bored actually with him because there's nobody else really out on track. I think most guys are just staying in the pit lane because they've qualified themselves already. DRS is open on the Alpha Tower here. It looks pretty fast for me, so He's looking really fast around Baku here. So let's see what his time is going to be like. In sector 1, let's say 35.1. They take this X section pretty well, if you ask me, so... Slow is not improving, right? So Rizzle Sticks is now going towards the castle section of the track, most difficult part, alongside the part that's coming up next here. Went really wide there, and that's... Yeah, I backed out of his run, I think, yeah. Just backed out of his run. We have another Aston Martin Mage this on a hot lap, so that's interesting. He did put a 144.9, so Mage can just go into the pit lane, I guess, and he's qualified himself for qualifying session number 2. Main focus of Q1 is just qualify yourself, not to put a banger of a lap. Let's see what Mage is going to do in Aston Martin here. Is he improving on his time in sector 2? He might, you know, don't know for sure. This was one of the most difficult parts as well. Could easily damage your nose or that part of the track. We have it's 1.5 a second up, 1.5 second up on his own time, so he will put Oren down to 13th place then. He will go up to 12th, I think, maybe even 11th, if he can keep the momentum going here on the mid straight. He's putting in a 143.1, and that's putting him in P11 for the moment. So Major qualify himself for Q2 with that. Rizzle Sticks put in a 149.4, but just backed out of his run. So let's see if Rizzle Sticks can go under the 147.4, and he validated that run. So is that Rizzle Sticks actually out of qualifying? I'm not sure. I think he will be, you know. Or there's an out lap, but I think he doesn't have enough time to cross the finish line, so no, he doesn't have enough time for that. So we have Mage doing another hot lap. She's doing a few hot laps in a row now. That's right on board with him. Rizzle Sticks is validated this time, so we want to be improving his 49.4. There was a tire on track there, as you could see. There's a bit of a glitch in the game that just spawns a tire right on the track, but yeah, got to drive against it. And Mage is 6 stands up in his time, so is he going to beat King of the Hills and qualify session number 1? Then his teammate, his first benchmark needs to set, beat your teammate obviously. Is Mage going to beat his teammate here in qualify session number 1? But is he going to beat him? It's going to be 142.7, and that puts him still a P11, but he did improve on his time by half a second or something, 4 times half a second. So that's qualifying session number 1 over here. I think we will lose 3 drivers if I'm correct. Yeah, we lose 3 drivers here, so we have 14 drivers in qualifying session number 2 instead of 15. These are Scouse Cookie, Rizzle Sticks, and Darren Mark, who didn't qualify themselves for qualify session number 2 here. All the rest is through to qualify session number 2, which will start in a few minutes time. So qualifying will be underway very shortly. Qualifying session number 2 here. So we'll lose the last 4, if I'm correct. So driver 11 till place 11 till 14 we will lose at the end of qualifying session number 2. And the first 10 will keep on going. Qualifying session number 3, and they will battle it out for pole position there. Who will be the first one that comes out of the track? Telemetry on again. What will be the different tires? Because golf session number 2, Villeneuve mediums, Scott mediums. Man, who is coming on the track? Is that Oren? Oren is the first one that's out on the track here. He's going for soft, Wild Dog mediums, Drew mediums, hit fast. Ooh, reversing it on track. He's reversing it on track, and it's pretty dangerous, but he watched out. So Porsche will be the first one on the outlap then. In the Alpine. 5 guys in mediums, Scott is the mediums, Slow Coach is the mediums, Drew, Villeneuve and Wild Dog. Obviously all fast guys will probably try to qualify themselves on mediums to get a better strategy out of it, to have more options to choose between the strategies. Yeah, Porsche is then letting Oren go again, so both armor of the tires there with a trade of 3 or 4 drivers behind. So Oren in the Alfa Romeo then. He's now coming towards the... Oh, did he damage his car there? Did he damage his car there? Because that was a big hit in my opinion there in the barrier. I don't think he did, you know. We'll see about it. Oh, he did. I think he did. If I see it like this, I think he did get damage his car, you know. Let's see if he's going back in or not. He's not coming back in, so didn't he damage his car then? We'll go on a hot lap with him. He's going first on a hot lap, and yeah, he's damaged. He definitely is damaged there. So let's ride on board with Podge then on his first hot lap in the Alpine. Podge here in the Alpine, coming towards turn 3 here. Was a pretty decent run there. Now coming towards the end of sector 1 here. Is it 35.8? What I'm very curious to see is the guys who will go in mediums. What times will they set? Like the Wild Dog, for example, or a Drew. What kind of times will they post here on medium compounds? Because know how fast medium compound is around here, but we'll see about it. For the moment, it is dry though. Poch now coming towards the last real corner now with the S section, which is a high speed corner. Let's ride on board with the Alpine here, really decent exit there. So can it be close to 140 or 141 maybe? 140, 141, that would be a pretty good time. Orange 145.5, he goes to 141.8. Toxic Threads 141.6. We have then Nivea on the outlet. We have, is it Drew? Yeah, Drew 141.1 on mediums. Alright, that's the benchmark there. 141.1 on mediums, also fast in qualifying session number 1. Is it Wilder coming towards finish line? Wilder coming towards finish line on the medium compound is 141.2, and it's 1/10 of a second off the pace of Drew at the moment. Page going towards the finish line here in the Ferrari. 144.5 isn't really reliable time for her. Slow Coach on the mediums now, going towards finish line. Has Vic out of this run or hasn't he? I think he hasn't. There's a 145.0 on the mediums. Well, 42 meters for Maged. We have Villeneuve now on the medium compound. The next one to cross the finish line here. Let's see what Villeneuve can do. Villeneuve in the Red Bull here. He's now coming towards the finish line here on the mediums, and it looks a really good time actually from here on. It's a 1:41.0 and puts him fastest on the medium compound. I didn't expect that to happen at all. Trying to put over this 1.5 second up. Goes to, oh, let's see what Nevi is very important there. He puts it 41.2 in the softs, puts him in third place for the time being. Who's on the track then? It's Slow Coach improving by 3/10 of a second. Podge is not, he's on an in-lap I think. Page is on an in-lap I think. Oren is improving by 1.5 second. No, it wasn't half second. That was a bit of a glitch I think. Wild Dog is it. That's Wild Dog is an in-lap I think. So right above the Slow Coach then. Because he was improving on his time. Slow Coach is coming into the pit lane. Mage on a hot lap. You'll start another hot lap now. 50.7 did a bit of a cooldown lap. Drew is on an in lap on the medium compound. We have Scott who's starting his hot lap. So Scott didn't crash out at all then, he just retired it on track then. I think. He fell on out lap. Villeneuve is going towards finish line once again I think. He's on the in lap. Mage on improving. Oren is improving by almost a second here. Well, 44.7 puts him above Slow Coach for the time being. David improving this time I think. Well, 41.0. Just a few hundreds of seconds of Villeneuve's time. Man is on an out lap. Who's on the hot lap actually? Scott is on the hot lap on the medium compound. And Mage has crashed it out in the castle section. It ruined Scott's lap a bit there, but Mage crashed out in the castle section of the track, the most popular part to crash out obviously. And I really expect a lot of victims there in the race. There's at least a few. Or this section also a really popular one. This ruined Scott's time a bit I think. But yeah, nothing that Mage could do there. He just crashed it. Scott is now coming towards the finish line and it's not going to be a reliable time. And he knows that as well. It will be close to Slow Coach time though. With 44.9 is even faster than Slow Coach there. King of the Hills on an out lap. Currently the second one in the standings. So this is going to be interesting. We have Oren on a hot lap I think, or is an in lap. Maybe an in lap, you know. Yeah, he's on the in lap. The McLaren of Nevi is coming up on an in lap. Still 5.5 minutes remaining here in qualifying session number 2. Yeah, Fowler's on a hot lap I think. Yeah, he's on a hot lap. And that's really interesting. Well, yellow flag there, see? Well, yellow flag there or no. But and would it crash there as a man on his out lap? Yeah, man outbrake himself I think on an out lap. AFL's going towards the finish line, and that seems a pretty decent time in my opinion. So Let's see if I'm correct or not, but the thing is going to be close to Villeneuve's and Nevy's time. It will be very tight, I think. For 41.169, that puts him in 4th place for the time being. The first driver and the 4th driver only separated by like 1300 of a second, just more than a 10. Scott going towards the finish line here. It is a 142.8, puts him in 8th place for the time being. With King of the Hills going towards the finish line. Oh no, he's in the pit lane. Did he pick up some damage then or something? Let's bring in a fresh set of softs. Did man pick up some damage after that crash or braking pause? Still 3.5 minutes remaining here. But it's not looking good at the moment for King of the Hills, you know. The second one, the standings, only 3 minutes remaining. And he is in the drop zone for the moment. There's loads of pressure on him. But also on Orange, Slow Coach and Man here. Man is now starting his lap. Scott is... a Valve from Scott, hopefully he sees that. So Slow Coach going towards finish line. Yeah, he's faster now. He's 1.3 seconds up on his time. And he will go up to 11 with that. That's not going to be enough, you know. Oh, he goes to 9th. 143.7 puts him in 9th place for the time being. And he qualifies himself for Q3 with that for the time being. Virtually then. Eval on the in-lap. Scott is he improving? He's in in-lap. So let's ride on board with Man then. In the Haas. He needs a 143? No, 144.5 he needs. He's 144.5 at least to qualify himself for that virtually. It's really interesting here, the Haas, but let's see what he can do then. Well, both Haas's go through to Q3 then. Didn't see that balance down that corner in my opinion. It's gonna be tight, man, think. Or not, no, it will be easily. Alright, it takes it easily. I want 41.9. Qualifies himself for Q3 with that probably. Villeneuve decided to call it a day in the pit lane. Scott as well. Focus not improving or improving by only 0.2 for the time being. And Paige is going again. She's giving it another try here. Oh, that is still the pit lane. They can just retire if they want to. Oren is more than 0.7 up now. Almost 0.8 up actually on his own time. Eval retired in the pit lane. What can Oren do here in the Alfa Romeo? Going towards the finish line here. Is he going to be enough to qualify himself for that, for qualifying session number 3? It isn't, only 11, 143.6. That isn't enough to qualify himself for that. He definitely needs to go again. King of the Hills. He's on a hot lap. That's the only hot lap he can just set here. So is Man going again? I think he might be going again, you know. Oh no, he hasn't. 110 down. Oren is... no, oh, when he collapsed to the barrier there. Paige is 0.7 up now, but... No, he's just 1.6 seconds up actually. 1.6 seconds, so that will be very tight with Scott there. Can she push down Scott to 10th here? And then you need to still have King of the Hills as well. What will Paige do here? Will she qualify herself for qualifying session number 3 here? It is a 142.1, puts him in 9th place, and Scott is out of qualifying. And Paige will go through, I think. She will go through the qualifying session number 3. Now King of the Hills is going towards the finish line and hopefully can qualify himself for qualifying session number 3 there. Oh, that's going to be tight, man. Oh, it's going to be tight. Even Woden, I think, 143.1 is only 12th place for him there. And that advantage never definitely here. Never has the advantage of qualifying here. Is Owen improving? No, he's down in his time. So we lose 4 drivers here. We lose 5 drivers here because Mage just crashed it out. So we lose 5 drivers here. These are Mage, Scott, King of the Hills, which is a surprise for me, Oren and Slow Coach. The guys that are going through or girls are going through are Paige Baguette, Man, Poch, Toxic, Threads, Wild Dog, AFL, Drew, Nevi and Villeneuve. They will battle out for pole position here at Baku. So only 9 drivers participating in Q3, I think. So that's call for session number 2 over here. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys that are qualifying themselves on the medium compound here. 6 have qualified on mediums and only 3 on softs. So yeah, that's a very interesting strategy there. Villeneuve was 41.0 there. Where is he at in the standings actually? He came out of nowhere here. He's only 15 in the standings, but he's just putting a banger over time there. We'll be underway with Q3 in, I think, it's less than a minute now. Not even a minute, 30 seconds or something. Only 9 drivers, and it's very rare to see actually in Q3 that only 9 drivers participating, but I don't dare to say who will take pole position here actually. There's loads of guys who can go for it here. Who's the first one that comes out on track? That's the question. Already half a minute past here. It isn't Alfa Romeo, is it Wild Dog immediately? Yeah, it's Wild Dog. The champion that is coming out on track here. That's the first driver to set a time. So we have Porsche already on a loud level as well. We have Drew on a loud level as well. Also one of the favorites to qualify in pole today. Wild Dog is the first one who will be setting a hot lap here today in qualifying session number 3. Obviously everyone's going to be on soft tires because this is the battle of pole position here. Oh, a bit of wheel spin there from Wild Dog. Still coming towards the last section of the track. Forgot to switch gears there a bit. Only Page and Matt are still in, they're just watching it from a distance from now. Wilder is going towards the finish line to set his first hot lap of the session now. Let's see what the Alfa Romeo can do here. DRS is open on Alfa Romeo. Also, subject to talk about actually, the Rebel livery is coming to the game, I think, this week, and Imola is coming to the game this week as well. But I think they also should include like the liveries then. If they do it for Rebel, they also need to do it for like Alfa Romeo and McLaren, because there's also very nice liveries, of course. But let's see what Wilder can do actually. Going towards the castle section here. Didn't take the ferry perfectly or something, but it wasn't that bad. So what's his time going to be like? Needs at least a 140 higher or 140 mid or something to make even a chance to qualify himself on pole. I think you need a 140 mid here, 140 low maybe even. While they're coming towards the finish line here. It's going to be around to 140s. 143, that's a pretty decent time there for a Wild Dog. Podge is next, no, Podge is not next. Drew is next, crossing the finish line. Drew, one of the favorites to qualify pole alongside Wild Dogs, going towards finish line, and it is a 39.9 for Drew. They won 39.9. So we're also seeing 39ers here with Podge going towards the finish line. That's going to be 41.1, puts him in third. Is that Villeneuve? No, it's AFL who's coming towards finish line now. It's AFL going towards finish line. What is his time going to be like? It's around Wild Dogs, I think. Well, 40.2 puts him in second place for the time being, in front of Wild again. Ooh, was up on his time, it collapsed with the wall with that. We've Nevi going towards finish line. Nevi won 40.9, fourth place for him. Major Cat on an outlap. We have Villeneuve going towards finish line here. Villeneuve going towards finish line. It's going to be a 141.1. Toxic going towards finish line in 140.2 in front of Wildog with that run. I think Wildog was straight on another lap, but he's 3/10 down on his own time. Maybe just decides to back off and go into the pit lane for another set of softs then. That's the best thing to do, I think, if I were Wildog. He is doing that. Is Porsche setting another hot lap? Or Drew maybe even. Drew was not far off at this time, you know. But yeah, he decided to back off and go to the pit lane. Is Porsche on another lap? Porsche is on an in lap. Villeneuve's not improving. They would need to ride about a pit. Oh, Nevi's up on his time. Nevi's more than a 10 up right now on his own time. More than almost 3/10s actually. We'll be very close to Wild Dog's time, I think. We'll be 140.6 or something, or 40.7. Let's see what Nevi can do here. Nevi coming towards the finish line. He's on in lap. Alright. He was improving, but alright. Villeneuve's going towards finish line. Toxic as well with toxic threats. It's not improving. Villeneuve isn't as well. Paige Baguette her first time is 142.1. There's 1 second of the pace at the 7. She definitely needs to go again with that run. Man on an outlap. Page instantly going for another lap then. Page is now going towards the first sector. What's her time going to be like in sector 1? It's 1/10 up on her own time. 1/10 up. I think it will be very important in Azerbaijan today to literally don't get any penalties, because I expect a few safety cars here today, and penalties are only a disadvantage, not really a benefit when that happens. Paige Baguette now coming towards 6 stands up. She's more than 6 stands up on her own time. That's not enough for P7 for the moment, but she will be close to do that. She will be in there. Paige Baguette in the Ferrari here. She is improving. But Bahoma, is going into pit lane, or she's going into pit lane. Decided better of it. Next to going towards this man, because he is on a hot lap. He is on the hot lap in the Haas. Yellow flag in sector 2. Who is that? That was Porsche. Went just a bit slower, I think. Wilder got another hot lap. It's also very nice to see. We have Matt going towards the finish line here. Ooh, hit the barrier there, I think. Go further with this lap. Just putting the foot down here towards the mid straight, and that's going to be 142.2 actually. Puts him down just in 9th place. That's right, but Wild Dog is in the hot lap. He's improving almost 0.2 of a second in sector 1. If he can keep the momentum going, he will be very close to Drew's time. I bet you just want to show everyone that he is a champion and nobody else is. Won the last Grand Prix actually, I think, to secure the title in tier 3. Now going towards sector 2 here, sector 3 here, sorry. He is 0.8 of a second, 0.8 of a second up. So pay attention to Wildog here. I think he will clinch pole with it. That was a really decent lap there, and I think it will be 139 mids. I expected 139 mids here. 139.5, yeah. Very decent lap for him. He's virtually on pole position with that. We have Drew who is 0.3 up of a second. His 0.3 will be very tight with Drew and Wild Dog here. That will be very tight for pole here between Drew and Wild Dog. So let's see what Drew can do actually here. I don't dare to say we will improve in Wild Dog's time actually. Let's just watch it. It is going to be 139.541. It's only 1/1000th of a second slower than Wild Dog. 1/1000th of a second is nothing. We have Man who is in lap. We have Nevi is 0.5 of a second up. He's improving on his time, and there's a 140.2 still in 5th place with that. We have Villeneuve improving by 0.8 of a second now. AFL's on the outlap. Villeneuve's going towards the finish, the last corners here. DRS is open in a few hundred of meters. Here's the detection point, I think, yeah. DRS is open on the Red Bull here, and I think it is a 141.3. There's an improvement in this time. Wildog's 110 down in this time. Is Drew going for another run? Drew is 6,000 up, And that's enough to clinch pole, you know. 6,000 would be enough to clinch a pole position, to snatch it away from Wild Dog here. He is... oh no, he's 3 seconds down now, all of a sudden, so... I think Wild Dog will clinch pole position here today. The Belgian guy will clinch pole position. Unless Niv is going to do something ridiculous here. Ridiculous thing of a lap. He's only 2 tenths up or something, 1 tenth up. But it will put him at P3, so... it's very good for the fight between second and third place in championship. Niv go towards the finish line. Over the last threat to the podiums here in the qualifying. It was 40.4 actually, it's not improving then. Lost a few hundreds of seconds there, a few tenths of a second even in the last sector of the track. Portugal's improving. Portugal's improving on his time, so he isn't improving, I think, about 42.2. Feel another 7 tenths up. The ERS will be... ERS is almost emptied here, but there's a 140.5, puts him in 6th place and pushes Porsche down to 7th. So there we have your grid. We have Wild Dog and P1 is also the championship leader and the guy who clinched the championship title. With another round to be going after this one in Portimao in Portugal. We have Drew in 2nd place, the guy is 5th in championship standings, only 1/1000th of a second slower than Wild Dog. And there's a gap of 7 tenths between Drew and AFL. We have Toxic in 4th, Niv in 5th, Villeneuve 6th, Porsche 7th, Page Baguette 8th, and Man will qualify himself in 9th position with that on the Haas. So that's qualifying over, and we'll get underway with the race very shortly. It will be in, I would say, 2-3 minutes time with the formation lap. J-Dub's going in the chat saying ole ola, my friend. But that was qualified session. There was a qualified session over here today, and let's see what the race can bring us, because it's very tight between Wild Dog and Drew, so it will be very interesting to see what this battle is going to look like on track between the Alfa Romeo and the Alpine. So yeah, let's see if it's going to rain or not. It looks like it isn't going to rain in the race, but I mean, you never know. If it's raining, it's far more difficult to drive on track and stuff. So yeah. We'll be underway with the race, and I would say now 1 minute formation lap starts. Depends on how fast the drivers will ready up. They're told to not ready up. They've been told to not ready up that fast, so will take a time, I think. It will take a bit of time here. Let's see it for the race now. So we're just waiting. Everyone's just determining their strategies right now on the screens. And let's see what the different strategies are going to look like. I bet there's going to be loads of mediums in the beginning. Also loads of softs, combination between softs and mediums probably. Let's see about that. We're underway in 14 seconds with the formation lap here for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in Baku here, and it looks like it's not raining, so we get a dry race probably, but it is cloudy, so maybe there will be mixed conditions, you never know. The sun is shining though, but yeah, always can switch very rapidly in Formula 1. Let's look at the different strategies here today. We have Wild Dog on mediums, Drew mediums. AFL is on medium compound with Toxic and Heavy needed to qualify themselves on softs. We have Villeneuve on mediums, Porsche mediums, Page mediums, Madness on mediums, Mages on mediums, Scott is on softs, King of the Hills is on hards, so that is a very alternative strategy there. It may be going for a hard medium or hard soft strategy there. That's a very risky strategy for him there. With Oren on softs, Slow Coach mediums, Darren Mark on softs, Riddle Stakes on mediums, Scout's Cookie on hards, and the Real on softs, who's joined after qualifying. So we have 18 drivers today instead of 17. As Wild Dog's now coming towards the castle section. That's the hardest part of the track here. Now they're just doing a formation now, but if you're against a full speed there around that corner, that is really awful to take. You can easily, the race can easily go wrong for you in that spot of the track. Predictive spreads of strategy for Wild Dog as a 2-stop from medium, soft, medium there. First stop in lap 9 to 15, I would say. So yeah. But I think everyone will doing a 1-stop. Predictive strategy is 2-stop, but if there's no safety cars, it will be a 1-stop for probably everyone. Maybe a 2-stop if you're really fast. Yeah, if there's a safety car, which is very likely, yeah, it's going to be more than 1 stop. We're going to do 2 or 3 stops maybe. Yeah, so let's see here what the race can bring us today. I'm really looking forward to it. There's going to be 26 laps here today in Azerbaijan. So what is it going to be like here today? Who is snatching away with the victory? And who will be on the podium spots? Will there be maybe even new faces on the podium? You never know in Formula 1. Everyone is just lining up in the grid now, as you guys can see on the screen. And we underway with qualifying with race very shortly. Just 10 to 50 seconds and then we'll start. Everyone is on the grid, so we should be on the way very shortly now. So waiting for everyone to ready up properly. Everyone has readied up and the red lights are popping up on my screen and it's lights out here today in Baku. And who is going to take first? Oh, it's Wild Dog still, but we see a spin there. Contact between, I think, Page and Mage there. The first call of strike already. That's always the case in Formula 1. Third one is always the most difficult to take cleanly, and Page and Mage have proved us that. Toxic and AFL fighting it out for third and fourth place here. Both collapsed a bit in the barrier there, I think. Hopefully they haven't picked up damage. Drew is still 0.3 of a second down on Wild Dog. These two have already a gap of more than 2 seconds. They are 1.9 seconds. And Drew is overtaking Wild Dog here. Wild Dog, ooh, that was a bit of a cut, I think, from him. There isn't going to be too next result in the castle section. And we feel Villeneuve who has crashed, I think. Oh, he spun it around, yeah. Villeneuve crashed there in the Red Bull, and that's already 3 crashes in less than a lap. Not a yellow flag in sector 2. It's a Villeneuve again. No, it just was a yellow flag. Battle first place still going on. It is 5 tenths that bring Drew and Wild Dog here today. All drivers are still pretty close to each other, you know. We have Scott only 0.3 of a second behind Man now. King of the Hills already up to 9th place, and Drew put the fast lap of the race, 1:48.2. He is the fastest for the moment here. Yeah, the time machines are a bit glitchy at the moment. It's really glitchy. Villeneuve's pitting already in lap 1. That means he's picked up some damage with the crash. King of the Hills now. No, the time machine is really not correct at the moment. It's very hard. We have Scott only a half second down on man. But Drew and Wilder are battling it out. They're next to each other, literally. And why couldn't I see the battle there? It was a really glitchy thing again. We have... Oh, everyone's just so close to each other here. What's happened there? We have another yellow flag there. This Rizzle Sticks was crashed, I think. But we have a battle here for first, second, third and fourth place. So... 4 guys battling out there for the first place. And Rizzle Sticks has indeed crashed in the castle section of the track. Ooh, a bit of a spin there for Drew. That will cost him a few tenths of a second and a bit of speed. Two tenths is the difference between a Wild Dog, and Wild Dog will overtake him. I'm pretty sure of it, yeah. Takes it down the inside here of Drew. Wild Dog puts... Oh, the Porsche putting fast time, 45.5. And Scouse Cookie has DNF. He has crashed it out. He lost control in the fast ass section of the track there. And that's him out of the race here. And we have a virtual safety car. So everyone will be slowing down for a bit. Let's see, running above Villeneuve, let's see what happened there to him. Is the car literally dead? Is he literally dead? Let's see. Oh, he's been removed from the track already, right. As if already a virtual safety car in lap 3. Thank God it's not a full safety car, and Villeneuve gets a drive-through penalty for speeding on his first safety car, and the race is going from bad to even worse now for Villeneuve after crashing in the first lap. Now he gets a drive-through as well. Will he decide to call it in the pit lane? Wouldn't judge him if he will. Again, the yellow flag is sector 2. Is that Nivi? Oh, I really hope that's Nivi. It was... I think it was Nevi, you know? It was Nevi. Hopefully it hasn't picked up some damage there. Loads of victims already in the castle section today. I think we've had already like 2 or 3 who crashed out there. Denmark gets overtaken by Maged for 13th place. But the battle is on for first place here. Swallow gets a bit out of the way of Drew. This Wild Dog is pitting. Wild Dog is pitting. So what happened there with him? I think he picked up damage. Not sure. Let's see what let's see in the pit lane. Because this is very important here. Yeah, he has picked up some damage. He has, and he's going for soft and 2-stop. And we have a full safety car now. Full safety car for Darren Mark that's crashed out in the McLaren. But that's not ideal. It is ideal for Wild Dog, you know. Now he's an advantage of better tires and stuff, but what happened there with Darren Mark? Where did that happen? Wait, I really didn't see actually where he did crash. But then Mark is also crashing out alongside Scouse Cookie. These are the first victims today here. As we have a safety car here in lap 4 of the 26th. So yeah, it'll be a very long race I think today. in terms of safety cars and stuff. By the way guys, I'm very sorry for my voice, but yeah, literally have a kind of a fever, so sorry for that. Scott gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. That's gonna affect his race as well. Drew is pitting right now, obviously. What's he going to go for, Drew? Let's see his strategy here. Will it be hard, soft, mediums? Another set of mediums. I will guess medium soft. He's going to go for. Will be a medium soft strategy probably. Drivers are now behind the safety car here in Azerbaijan. As you have AFL as a race leader, so we would expect that he started in P4, I think, is now up to P1. Porch in P2 with Matt in P3. King of the Hills has made a great race so far. He drove a great race. P4 from the moment for him. Drew in P5, or in P6. Taril P7, Pedro got P8, Wildog P9 after he picked up some damage. I think in the fight with Drew or something. Major 10, Toxic 11, Scott 12, Navy 13 after making also an error. Slow Coach at 40, Rail Sticks 15 and Villeneuve in 16. He's pitting once again and he's going for mediums. It's Scott with a drive-through. I think Scott didn't realize it wasn't a... yeah, it doesn't count, you know. It really doesn't count if you go into the pit. What has happened there? Or a crash or something. There's really weird to see there, right? That was really weird to see from Oren and Scott there. Scott just left and passed again. And Oren has crashed out. What's happened there? I was just driving a boat with him and he's crashed it out under safety car conditions or what? Yeah, he did. Oh my god, alright. Yeah, he crashed it out under safety car conditions and there's already 3 victims today in Baku. There's still 50 drivers remaining in the race out of 18. So if AFL now behind the safety car, it's not the Aston Martin safety car, which is really weird, but okay. Villeneuve is the only one that is not behind the safety car for the moment. We're waiting for him to go racing once again. Go for real racing, I mean, instead of racing behind the safety car. Let's see here, position changes. The real is up 12 places. He started from Africa, he's up to P6 for the moment. He would definitely earn drivers today with that if he can keep the momentum going. We have King of the Hills up 8 places, also very decent for him there. Let's see the stops. Villeneuve already 3 stops, yeah. Only lap 6 though, so it's not ideal for him there, the Red Bull. With tires, so Scott is trying to remain to the end on the mediums, on the hards. Needs 20 laps on that with the hard compound, and I don't know if that's really hard. I think, and 20 laps on hard compound and back was really hard, but I think he can get it. We have Scott with a drive-through and Villeneuve for a drive-through. and nobody else has had some penalties for the moment, so that's also really nice to see actually. Safety cars in this lap, and then we up to racing speed once again here in Baku. AFL's backing up the field here. A good restart is very important here, because you can lose much of time here in the main straight if you get a bad restart out of it. AFL decided to go now, and Slokers get a 5-second time penalty. This third collision with Nivi, they both get a 5-second time penalty for it. That's not good news for Nivi there. And we're back on the way for racing speed. We have AFL in the lead. Oh, that's man taking it out the inside. It was a very harsh move actually. And Nivi retired from the session there. Nivi crashed there with a bit of contact, I think. And Nivi has decided to call it a day. He's just crashed it out, I think. So that's very good news for King of the Hills to extend his margin in the championship and get his finish here. But what a disaster there for Nivi. We don't have safety cars, luckily. As Drew's going out to third place here, I think. Man defended very well there. Defended his third place against Drew. Drew takes it on the inside of man here. Towards the castle section here. We have Toxic very close in the real here. Can Toxic overtake the real for P7 here? Only 4 tenths separate them. Less than 4 tenths even. Using loads of VRS here. Takes it on the inside. Oh, it won't take it on the inside. Side's better off it. And ooh, that was a bit. The real just collapsed the wall a bit there. Just clipped the wall a bit. And Toxic in front of him now. With King of the Hills battling it out with Wild Dog here. King of the Hills and Wild Dog are battling it out. It's very... Who will be in front here actually? Who will be getting in front of this battle here today? It is Wild Dog for now, but... Oh, Toxic wants a piece of it as well. Very nice battle here. Oh, 3 next to each other, I think here. There's 3 guys next to each other here. Oh, there isn't going to be 3 in that corner, man. That is going to fit. Bit of contact between Wild and King of the Hills there. And Toxic takes to the on the outside there. Switch back from Wild, try to switch back. We have Page who's also wanting a piece of that. Wild on the inside here. And now with Toxic, is he going to tie on the inside of Wild here? He isn't. It's a very nice battle here for 5th, 6th, 7th and even 8th place. It's very nice to see, like, this kind of races are actually pretty nice to see with these kind of battles. As King of the Hills has gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits here. He's the first one that gets a time penalty for track limits, I think. Oh no, Slowco just 5-second time penalty. He needs to serve. Wild Dogs up to 5th place here. There's a really nice and intense battle here between these 3 guys, man. I really love it. King of the Hills is in front of Wild Dog now. Wild Dog still close behind. Toxic wants a piece of it as well now. He's waiting for it. And there's a yellow flag, and who crashed? Is it Villeneuve again? I think it's Villeneuve again, you know. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, those Villeneuve who crashed. Battle still on between Wild Dog and King of the Hills here. 3 next to each other. Oh, that doesn't fit, guys. That doesn't fit. As we see King of the Hills going. Yeah. I just said it. That doesn't fit in one corner, man. 3 guys. But that's King of the Hills going out the corner. And that's him down to P10 there. I bet he's going to report it, I don't know, but that's one for the stewards to look out for. That's really one for the stewards there. 3 in one corner. That just doesn't fit. That does know every Formula 1 driver. Battle's also on between Drew and AFL now. Only 4 tenths separate them for the win here today. AFL and Drew now coming towards the finish line. Towards the DRS zone as well. I think Drew will take first place here. Not sure of it, but I think he will. DRS is open, so yeah. AFL is defending with all the DRS he got, but Drew is down the inside of AFL here, and he takes the first place away from AFL. Very nice moves there from Drew, and he's up to first place. Toxic and Wildlook battling it out now. Wildlook back down the inside. No, inside's better off it. Lost a bit control of the car actually, Wildlook. And now they're getting very close to Man, these 2 drivers, and I wonder what Man will do with Toxic, because these 2 are teammates. Will they just decide to let Toxic go and hold up Wildlook a bit so he can create a gap? Let's see about that. Ooh, bad accident from Toxic, and Wildlook is taking to the inside obviously. And that's Wildlook up to 5th place again. Took it all very cleanly there. There's really a battle going on here. Let's see what these drivers can do against each other here. We have 3 drivers literally within 7/10 of a second of each other. So that's really nice to see. For P7, that's a battle for P5 actually. P5 to P7. Drew is walking away with victory at the moment. He is 1.2 seconds up for the moment. Is it Wilder going in front of Man? And I see rain. I think I see rain. That's going to change everything here. I think I just saw a raindrop. Yeah, I see rain. I literally can see rain. So a man is pitting here for a new front wing. The stage of the race, and now it's going to be interesting for the drivers. When are they pitting for the wet compounds now, or the intermediate compounds? Because it is raining now, but I think they will be in like 3 laps, 4 laps, maybe in. Let's see the different tires, man. This is going to be very interesting. Scott already on intermediates. That's not a good decision, I think. I think that isn't a good decision. Is it? I think he's losing time to everyone, isn't he? Yeah. So intermediates aren't the ones to go for the moment, I think. No, they aren't. Slicks are still the best to go with for the moment. As Toxic has 0% ERS. Is anyone going to pit lane? No. There's a wild dog down the outside here of Toxic now. Ooh, wild dog really wide there. I think there's a bit of a warning for track limits there. Is he up to P3? Toxic digs to the inside. Ooh, bit of contact. Poch also intermediates now. Oh, they're just kind of really battling it out now for P3 and P4. I think Wildog hit Toxic a bit from behind there. And I think he has some damage now, Wildog, hasn't he? Clipped the barrier a bit there. And that is slow coach almost crashing out. And now it's time for intermediates, I think. I think it is the time now. It is time for intermediates, I think, here. Track is getting really slippery. It will be time for intermediates in a very short time. Is Drew going to pit for intermediates? Drew isn't pitting. He isn't pitting. With yellow flag in sector 1, and I think that was the real. Yeah, that was the real. AFL isn't pitting. Toxic isn't pitting either, I think. Is he? He isn't. Wildog isn't. He is pitting. Wildog is going to pit for intermediates here. And Toxic is also pitting, alright. There's very many guys going to pit, but the first two haven't pitted yet, and that's very strange in my opinion. We're halfway through the race, and as I've said before the race, it is a bit of a mixed conditions race. It wasn't looking sunny at all. It was a bit of mixed conditions kind of thing, and we see the wet circumstances coming up now, and the wet compounds. Wildog is now closing in on Man, isn't he? He's closing very rapidly, so it really is time for intermediates now. It was the right call for all of them to go to intermediates, but AFL and Drew haven't decided to go for it yet. But they will be after this lap, pretty sure of it. The red is being disabled as well. That means it's getting really wet now. So let's stick with intermediates, or will we go for wet as well? Yellow flag. We have a yellow flag here. But it was a Toxic. Ooh, Toxic crashed. Toxic crashed in the castle section. He's not a victim of it. Yellow flag sector 1, Villeneuve has crashed, I think, and Podge is up to 4th place. Yeah, these mediums aren't ideal in this circumstance for the moment. Drew is pitting, AFL is pitting as well. Yeah. And we have virtual safety car. We have a virtual safety car, and who has crashed there? Man has lost his nose, so I think he's crashed. But it is the real because of 5-second time as we're crossing the pit lane exit. The pit lane exit. Ooh, there's a very big crash there for Man, I'd say. And we have full safety car even. It's switched to full safety car. Another safety car in this race here. This is now a wet race here today in Baku. This only making it more interesting. And AFL has AFL retired? What's happened with AFL there? Did he bin there? I think he binned it. In the safety car conditions as well. What was the second place? He's just binned it. Has he maybe even, I think he just scared himself maybe of the safety car being there. And yeah, that's him out there. That's him out of the race, and he was driving such a great race with AFL, but And Villeneuve also crashed out. Oh my god. This is getting a real carnage right now. It's real carnage. And we've still, what is it, like 13 laps to drive. We're waiting for Drew to get near the safety car. And it's raining harder and harder, so hopefully we won't get wet tires. So for me it will be very entertaining, but for the drivers it really won't, as we only have 12 drivers remaining in this race. Only 12 are remaining out of 18. Already 6 crashed out there. It's just Baku being Baku all over again here. As you see the reel in the pit lane for a new nose again or something. There's a stop and go penalty. Either a stop and go penalty and a new nose as well. I think it's been lapped already. Drew is now behind the safety car here. In lap 15 of 26. With Wild Dog just behind him, and then Page in third place, Mage in fourth, with King of the Hills in fifth, Slow Coach in sixth, Point in seventh, Mad in 8th, Toxic in 9th, Scott in 10th, Riddle Sticks in 11th, and the Real in 12th place. I will give full credit to the guys who are still racing in this, because it's really harsh circumstances, especially the mixed conditions. It's really harsh to drive on. Let's see what this race brings us after the safety car once again. I think we'll stay out for one more lap, and then we'll be in at the end of lap 16. And we'll get another great race for sure. And it is looking really wet here, but really wet. We have Drew still in first place, with Wild Dog the champion on second place and Page in third. These are the podium runners for the time being now. King of the Hills, the 3-second time penalty is really going to affect this race, isn't it? He's the only one with a time penalty to their name, so we'll give credit to that as well for the guys. We're getting such less time penalties, like such a little amount of time penalties for everyone. This is really awesome to see. Ooh, there's contact between, I think it was, who is it? Oh, that's a Real. It was contact between the Real and, was it Maged? I think it was Maged. Maged and the Real has made a bit of contact together, so yeah. Luckily for him, he doesn't get any 5-second time penalty. I really hope safety car's in this lap. I think it will be in this lap. We still have 10 laps to drive after this lap here in Baku. We get a notification, safety car in this lap, maybe even late notification, because everyone is getting really close to the field now of the safety car. But I think it will be one more lap, you know. I think it will be one more lap. They aren't that close, I think. Especially the Alpha Tauri Riddle stakes. He's not really close to safety car for the moment. So will be one more lap, I suppose. Yep, will be one more lap here. So we have nine actual race laps. It's not in this lap, no it isn't. 3 laps of the safety car here. So still Drew first place in the Alpine here. And Riddle Stakes is getting in front of Scott, who is pitting. He's serving his time penalty, I think is what is he serving. New front wing. New front wing for Scott once again. And he's pit already 4 times. Everyone's obviously intermediates, only gives Hills a time penalty of 3 seconds to his name. And that's really everything you need to know for the moment. We get around sector 2 here now. Hopefully, hopefully everyone just doesn't crash for the moment, so we just can go back to racing speed. They'll be very pleased to see that. Let's see here. If safety car is going to be in this lap, no doubt about that. So we have 9 actual race laps here remaining. It's getting really wet now, but I think the intermediates are still tired to go wet for the moment. And safety car is in this lap, so Drew will back up the field here. Well, we get a nice including restart because Wildog's luring to get past him already in the first stage here of the restart. We're really tight to each other. Hopefully everyone doesn't get a time penalty. Drew has decided to go and Wildog is just behind him now. Nice restart there from Drew. And wow, they're already more than a second away from Page after the restart. Will everyone be good after this restart? Rage is a bit. Jake is ghosting the real I mean. Where the battle's at, we have Toxic is only 3 tenths behind Slow Coach. Man is only 3 tenths behind Toxic. Toxic on the inside of Slow Coach here. No, he hasn't done on the inside. It's really weird. I should see someone ghosting around the place. Oh, and there's a crash there from Slow Coach. And luckily that for him, that isn't the end of his race. Wilder gets a 3-second time out for corner cutting right now. And what is happening? It is getting really chaotic here. Wilder gets another 3 seconds for multiple warnings. So there's 6 seconds already, I think. He's really ruining his race there. But Drew is looking really fast here in the wet. If he does make any errors, I think we'll snatch the victory here away from Wild Dog. Won't he? Dog's only 0.3 of a second behind Podge now. The battle for 7th place. Hit the barrier a bit there, did Toxic. Down the inside of Podge. Ooh, that was a really harsh move for Podge actually. Defended really well, to be honest with you. Let's see if Toxic can overtake him. And what is happening with Drew, because he's losing loads of time here to Wild Dog in one lap. Yeah, King of the Hills in the pit lane. So he damaged his front wing, I think. I think that was a battle with Slow Coach that bit crash. He has lost his front wing with that, I think. Man up to... Oh, Mage crashed. Mage has crashed here. He's reversing it right now, and there's a yellow flag again in sector 1. And who was that spinning out? It was Slow Coach again, almost pinning it. Hopefully there won't be loads of debris on track. Otherwise we get another safety car. We already had 2, so yeah. There's really no real battles going on track. I think Toxic is close to one with Podge, 0.5 of a second separating them. We have Mage now 6 times behind Slow Coach. Yeah, everyone is a bit far off each other actually. At the moment there's no real battles going on the track. We have Toxic who's 4 seconds behind Podge now. What tires everyone on? Wow, all of the tires. All this tire on track is 5 laps, so everyone should make it to the end of the race, I think. Unless it's going to rain more harder and everyone's going to wets, but I don't think that's going to happen. In terms of position changes, we have Drew up 1 place, we have Wild Dog down 1 place for pole position. Beige up 5 places, Man up 5 places, we have Rails Stakes up 8 places, so doing really well. The Reels up 6 places, start from the back. I think we have a battle between Slow Coach and Mage here. Slow Coach is spinning out, he binned it. That is a bin for Slow Coach. But that isn't a safety car, I think. He lost a bit of his nose there, but it's not really bad, I think. He's been very lucky with that recently, because it's 3rd time in 3 laps, I think. He spun it like that in that corner. So no virtual safety car either. That's very good news. Scott is not. Oh, Toxic went straight to, and definitely damaged there. And I think we might see some wets. You know, I see less and less grip than everyone else. Yeah, I think it's time for wets. Is it time to go for the wet compound here? Oh, don't tell me it's true that everyone's going to wets now. I think it is, because the intermediates are looking really slippery. So will we get wet tires here? Won't we? Drew isn't pitting. Wild Dog isn't pitting as well, I think. And we have another safety car. That's the third one in this Grand Prix here. And what has happened then? I really don't know what's happened, but we have another safety car. Another safety car here, yeah. Scott is pitting for wets or intermediates? Wets, yeah. That's the first one who's going for wet compound here. Scott is going for wets. And it's a very interesting race this. We have gone from slicks to intermediates and now we're going to wets. Ooh, and for toxic is not instead of intermediate, so different strategies here. Slow coach is going to pit lane. What's he going to do? Is it intermediates or are it wets that are ready for him in the Williams? That is the question. Wets for slow coach as well, and a new nose. Yeah, indeed. I think it's time for wets because it's raining much harder, and these are wet circumstances. I think not ideal for the drivers at all. It's a very entertaining race this, because it's happening such a lot of things in this race, such a lot of changement of conditions. Like we're going to 5-second time penalty for Porsche here, with collision with man at the safety car conditions. We've gone from mediums and softs and hards, slicks actually, to intermediates and now to wets, and that's something you rarely see actually in league racing, and yeah, it's very interesting. But the Wild Dog will be in a disadvantage here, because he has 6 seconds to serve, I think. He has 6 seconds to serve, Wild Dog. He'll be in a very big disadvantage here by the end of this race. So if Drew now behind the safety car, I think. He's closing in the safety car now. And he isn't pitting. They all are pitting. And that is really worrying me actually, because won't the guys on the wets be faster now? That's the question. If Drew doesn't take any risk, he just might win this Grand Prix here. But are these intermediates going to hold on? Now I don't want to see Norris scenarios here from Sochi and just going through on these intermediates actually with Norris or slicks in wet circumstances, but it's really hard to drive on inters if it's this kind of weather. So I think Sage will be in at lap 23 or something. Maybe even lap 24 if we really have bad luck. But that is really entertaining actually. Mixed conditions in the race. And what has Wild Dog actually done, because Page is up to second place? Did she overtake on the safety car? Or did Wild Dog made an error somewhere? The race is now really on Drew's hands here. It's his to win or lose now. But I think these intros are really slippery for the moment. So really slippery. King of the Hills retired from the session as well. He spun out in the castle section on the intermediates. I think, oh no, wets. I think he went for wets, didn't he? Yeah, he went for wets, and he is in the middle of the castle section there. Parked his Aston Martin, and that's him out of the race as well. That's second and third of the championship, the battle between second and third. All out of this race now. Wow, we've only have 11 drivers remaining now in this race. There's already 7 that have just crashed out. Can't blame them because it's really hard here in the circumstances. What's happened here? Everyone gets just 5-second time penalty for collisions and overtaking each other, I see, and what was that? It was really weird to see, actually. For the 5-second time penalty for severe collision with the real. But he lapped the real, so he won't be too pleased with that. Still have 3 laps remaining after this lap, and then we'll see who comes out on top. It'll be battle, maybe shootout between Drew, Page, and Riddle Stakes even, maybe, if he can get in there in the AlphaTauri. The B is looking really slippery, man. The Riddle Stakes disconnected, I think, didn't he? I think he disconnected, you know. Yeah, he is. He disconnected Riddle Stakes. He disconnected, so he won't be in the mix here. The real gets a 5-second time penalty again for collision with Porsche. He really needs to watch out here, the real, because he's ruining races for the moment. You don't want to ruin a driver's race here, especially in this late stage here, and safety cars in this lap. That's very good news here. And after the safety car, he'll be straight through the finish line because there won't be another safety car, because there's no much time left in this Grand Prix. When is Drew deciding to accelerate here? That's the question. Drew backing up the field here, and he's decided to go now. It is a pretty good restart, I think. Wildog is instantly trying to get in front of Page here, but I think that isn't going to happen, is it? Is it or isn't it? Toxic goes in front of Scott here. Everyone goes to the first corner, hopefully pretty well. Yep. And Scott is on the wets. Scott is on wets, and Porsche can 5-second time penalty for ignore yellow flags. And he crashed as well on the intermediates here, and that's him just crashing it out. Wasn't on purpose or not. I really hope for him that wasn't on purpose, because there's still 10 drivers remaining in the race then. I really hope for him that it wasn't on purpose, because maybe we could punish for that. Porsche just left the session. Decided to call it a day, and we're still racing now. Mage and Scott are battling it out at the moment. Drew's already more than 4 seconds in front of Wild Dog. 5 seconds even. As we are Toxic now 2 tenths behind Page. This is the battle for 3rd place for the final podium spot between Toxic, Treads and Page. To the inside he tried, but didn't succeed at all. Ooh, Page cut the barrier a bit. And Page disconnected as well, I think. Page disconnected as well. I think she did, you know. So that's Toxic up to P3 now. And Toxic is not... Let me see, who will take the final point spot at the moment actually. I think it will be Wildog or Maged. I think Wildog still keep it together. Real Stakes has been disconnected, I think, yeah. Man is now overtaking Riddle Stakes for 6th place. He's only 6 times with Maged here. Still 2 laps to drive. And with yellow flag sector 1, that's caught in the barrier on the wet compound. Scott is in the barrier there. That's his race really going from bad to worse there. Mano fighting it out with Mage for 5th place here. In the last couple of laps of this Grand Prix here. Take on the outside man, but oh, slippery there. Oh, almost crashed out in the horse. Keep it together, man. Still one more lap after this, and then you've done it and just finished it and get the points. There's loads of guys over this out of this race, you know. There's already like 8 out, so yeah. But we expect that, especially in this kind of circumstance, we expect that to happen. But yeah, just so fortunate as we see Man go in front of Mage there for 5th place. There's no point for Mage in battling him because he has a time battle to his name to serve at the end of the Grand Prix. And we have Toxic now battling it out with Wildog here for 2nd place. So going into the stream saying, go Mage. Yeah, I think you're King of the Hills, right? It's teammate. Mage is currently 6th, but I think he will stay 6th already, so it'll be a pretty great performance from him there. We'll get some decent points from Aston Martin as well. We are in the last lap of the Grand Prix here, and it's been a really slippery race, a really awful race I think to drive, because it's so tricky here, especially when it's raining so hard and you started with dry compounds. It's just unreal. Wildog went really wide there, and Toxic overtook him for 2nd place there. Hopefully he doesn't outbrake himself, the Wildog. He almost did, you know. Man is now battling out with Page Baguette for 4th place. Will the horse be able to get 4th place here? Because Paige is back. She disconnected, but she's back now. But we go on board where... Oh, this is really close now. This is really close now. If you're giving the hills, yeah, I thought that. But Drew is coming towards the finish line here. One hell of a performance there from Drew. And Wildog has crashed, I think. Oh, no, just over the overtake. But Drew is going to finish line to win the Azerbaijan Grand Prix here. Congratulations with that, mate. It's really deserved. Really a tremendous performance for you there. And we have Toxic going across the line 2nd place. Is it Page and Toxic for 3rd? Page, oh man, we'll say, but this Page who gets 3rd out of this and completes the final podium spot with Man at 4th, Mage in 5th place. Wildog will be 6th, Riddle Stakes 7th, but he was disconnected, so we don't know about that. Slow Coach is still on the way to the finish line to finish in P8, and Scott crashed in the last lap, I think. So there's only 9 finishes then. So only 9 finishes. Yeah, that's just really unfortunate. But one hell of a race it was in Baku. Actually, it was one hell of a race here. don't see that often, this kind of races, but Drive to Race is for Riddle Stakes, for climbing up so many places. As we see Drew taking a selfie here. Yeah, indeed, congrats to all the podium runners and just to everyone who just finished the race, because it was really awful. It was really tricky actually to race it as well. So yeah, that was really nice to commentate on, although I don't have a voice anymore because I'm ill, but yeah. As we see, these are the Grand Prix results, with Drew in first place and Toxic in second place, and Welsh 1-2 here. We have Page in third place, very nice result, with man only, what is it, like 100 of a second behind though, 15,000 of a second. Mage in fifth place with Wildog in sixth, Riddle Stake in seventh, Stokers 8, Scott in ninth, Daryl in 10th, Podge in 11th. He crashed out, so all the rest of the drivers crashed out. The King's Hills crashed out. AFL, Villeneuve, Nivi as well. Owen, Darren Mark and Scouse Cookie was the first one to retire then the Grand Prix here. That was the streamer, guys, for Tier 3 of Formula Racing League. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time around. It will be next week around Portimao, if I understood right. So we'll be back then, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.